Once upon a time in the bustling heart of New York City, there lived a young woman named Elena, who worked as a barista in a cozy little coffee shop tucked away in the West Village. Elena had long dark hair that cascaded down her back like a waterfall, and eyes the color of warm caramel that sparkled whenever she smiled. She was 28 years old and had moved to the city 5 years ago from a small town in Ohio, chasing dreams of becoming a writer. But life had a way of keeping her grounded in the daily grind of pouring lattes and wiping counters. Every morning she watched the same faces come and go, the hurried businessmen, the artists with paint on their fingers, and the occasional tourist lost in the maze of streets. But one crisp autumn day, everything changed when he walked in. His name was Alexander, but everyone called him Alex. He was tall with broad shoulders and a jawline that could cut glass. His hair was a messy mop of dark brown waves, and his eyes were a piercing blue that seemed to see right through people. Alex was 32 and worked as a successful architect in a firm downtown designing sleek modern buildings that touched the sky. He had just finished a big project and decided to take a break from his usual routine by exploring the neighborhood on foot. When he stepped into the coffee shop, the bell above the door jingled softly, and the aroma of freshly ground beans wrapped around him like a warm hug. He scanned the menu board, and when his gaze landed on Elena behind the counter, something stirred inside him, a quiet spark he had not felt in years. Elena looked up from steaming milk, and their eyes met for the first time. Time seemed to slow down as she took in his confident stance, and the way his leather jacket hugged his frame. She felt a flutter in her chest, something unfamiliar, yet exciting. "Good morning," she said with a warm smile. "What can I get for you today?" Alex smiled back, his voice deep and smooth like aged whiskey. "I'll have a black coffee, please, nothing fancy." As she prepared his drink, they chatted lightly about the weather, the changing leaves in Central Park, and how the city never slept. He mentioned he had just moved into an apartment nearby after living in Chicago for a few years. Elena shared that she loved writing short stories in her free time, but rarely had the courage to share them with anyone. By the time his coffee was ready, they had exchanged names and a promise to continue the conversation another day. Over the next few weeks, Alex became a regular at the shop. He would come in every morning around 9 o'clock, ordering the same black coffee, but staying longer each time to talk with Elena. They discovered they shared a love for classic films, old bookstores, and late-night walks along the Hudson River. One evening after her shift ended, Alex waited outside with 2 cups of takeout coffee in hand. He suggested they take a stroll through the park since the weather was perfect. Elena hesitated for a moment, but the genuine kindness in his eyes won her over. As they walked under the golden glow of street lamps, their shoulders brushed occasionally, sending little jolts of electricity through her body. He told her about his passion for creating spaces where people could feel at home, and she opened up about her dream of publishing her first novel someday. The conversation flowed effortlessly, as if they had known each other for lifetimes. As days turned into weeks, their connection deepened. Alex started picking her up after work on Fridays, and they would explore hidden gems of the city, from rooftop bars with stunning views of the skyline to quaint Italian restaurants in Little Italy, where they shared plates of pasta and bottles of red wine. During one such dinner under the soft light of candles, Alex reached across the table and took her hand in his. His touch was warm and strong, and Elena felt her heart race. "You know, Elena," he said softly, "you make this crazy city feel a little less lonely." She blushed and squeezed his hand back, feeling a warmth spread through her that had nothing to do with the wine. Their first kiss happened that night on a quiet bench overlooking the river. It was gentle at first, tentative, then grew with a hunger that surprised them both. His lips were soft yet demanding, and she melted into him, losing herself in the moment as the city lights twinkled around them like stars. Their romance blossomed like the cherry blossoms in spring. Weekends were filled with adventures, hiking upstate in the Hudson Valley, where they picnicked on blankets surrounded by vibrant foliage, or visiting museums where Alex explained the architecture behind famous buildings, and Elena pointed out details in paintings that inspired her stories. One rainy Sunday, they stayed in at his apartment, a spacious loft with floor-to-ceiling windows that offered panoramic views of Manhattan. They cooked dinner together, laughing as flour dusted their clothes while making homemade pizza. After eating, they curl,